In this video, I'm going to talk about slope. Now, I know a lot of people out there would probably, the first thing that probably pop into their heads would be, well, gee, we're going to go up on a ski mountain. No, we're not going skiing here. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. But it kind of has something to do with skiing, just not the fact that we're going to put on a bunch of skis and go down a bunch of snow-covered slopes. Alright, so what is mathematical slope? Well, I'm sure you remember me talking about this equation right here, y equals 2x plus 6, in a previous video. And hopefully you've watched all my videos so far, and if you haven't, shame on you. Okay, but anyway, slope is a ratio. Now, I know I haven't made a video about ratios yet, and I will, but in the meantime, if you want to know about ratios, all you have to do is go on the net. There are plenty of web pages about it, plenty of videos about it, not to mention the fact that you could go to any math book and they tell you all about ratios. So let's just skip that part for now, and let's get to the more important part. Slope is a ratio between rise and run. Okay, so picture this in your head. You're near a mountainous area, and you see the sun rising in the east, and you've got your running shoes on, and you're going to run towards this rising sun. Okay? So you have the sun that's rising before you do the run, and then you're running towards it. Okay? So, rise is how far a mathematical line like this rises like this, and run is you running towards that line or away from that line. Doesn't matter whether you're running away from it or running towards it. That's what you're doing. You're running, okay? And you run horizontally, obviously. I mean, I know there are some people on the moon that ran a little bit vertically, but you're not on the moon, you're not on Mars, you're not on Jupiter, and you're not on Venus. You're here on Earth, and when you run horizontally. And if you don't, then something's seriously wrong, and you need to rethink this. Okay. Alright, so, since slope is rise to run, we actually have a mathematical symbol to express this. Alright? So, we're going to write down here, slope equals vertical change to horizontal change. So let me go over that one more time. Slope is the ratio of vertical change to a horizontal change, and yes, that's a division sign. Now, believe it or not, there's actually a mathematical term for division sign, and it's called a vinculum. V-I-N-C-U-L-U-M, and I'm going to spell it out for you right now. Okay, it's going to be V-I-N-C-U-L-U-M. So that actual division line is called a vinculum. Alright, so what is the vertical change? Well, that's rise. What is the horizontal change? That's run. Okay, so you have a ratio between vertical change and horizontal change, which is rise to run. Okay? Now, you have a mathematical formula here, y equals 2x plus 6. So, in this mathematical formula here, what is the slope? Well, in this case, it's the 2. Alright, and they call this the mathematical letter M. Don't ask me why. I really don't know. You'd have to ask a mathematician why he calls that M, but that's what he calls it. Now, what is this 6 here? Well, it's called the y-intercept. Okay, it's called the y-intercept. That means at that spot, this line here is going to intercept the y-axis, and as you can see, that's where it intercepts. Alright, so you can use two numbers from this line right here, this diagonal line here, and come up with this equation, which will tell you the rise and the run. Okay? And of course you can keep plotting coordinates in here, and you can keep plotting points on your graph. But that's basically what slope is. Alright, now I'm going to go over more of this slope business in a future video, but as you can plainly see, where this line crosses the X and Y axis and kind of goes up and down like this, that's why you need a slope. It tells you how to angle this line so that you're crossing every point that this equation can solve. Alright, like I said, I'm going to cover more about this in a future video, so stay tuned.